Myself Varun Patel, and I'm the co-founder and CEO of the company. Lauren is the Chief Growth Officer of the company. We both are going to present the topic, air growth hacking tools for the cannabis and CBD industry. Uh, and I think, by seeing the nature of the industry and by seeing the challenges that we are facing while doing digital marketing campaigns, we found some of these strategies that we have used for our clients, and they have worked for us as well. So it'll be good to share the learnings, the kind of tools we have used, the kind of strategies we have used to grow the overall business. And we'll talk about some examples where we have turned around the businesses from being a startup company to the company that has grown to a level, and they have been acquired by the bigger companies. And I think that has been made possible with a lot of, I would say, testing that we have done and a lot of learnings that we have had while using a lot of tools and platforms, and we'll share that all with you so that you can also use it for your businesses, and I think it will be useful for you to grow your business as well. So let me share my screen, and Lauren, it's over to you now.
Thank you, Varun. I want to thank everyone for taking the time out of their day, whether you're here live or on the recording, to listen to our learnings. So again, this is all specific to the cannabis and CBD and hemp industry. I like to say that we focus on products that are digitally challenged. So we always start out with a quote, or this one today is a cartoon where this gentleman is talking to his team, finding that marketing is ineffective and even at times annoying to the customers. And then the woman chimes in saying we can find the right software to annoy them effectively, right? So that's, kind of a tongue-in-cheek joke, but it is true that that's what we do with digital marketing, is we try very subtly to bring the customers in. And here's some statistics that we always like to share. Conversion rate optimization, right? Because that's what it's all about, is you want convert the users and make money and bring in revenue. We found that, I'm sure you have as well, that email marketing should be your highest revenue generator. One other thing I want to highlight here is the bounce rates are higher for social, right? Because social is more about top of the funnel. It's more about brand awareness and making people aware of what you're offering. Then on the web page and landing page optimization, keywords are very important. Okay, we can go ahead, Varun. So more statistics on conversion rate optimization. The call to action is extremely important. So how you word it's got to be very clear, right? Like a shop now or learn more. On the right there, we have a table that shows these are actually businesses. So a business that's well known, a unicorn, the conversion rate is very high, 11%. Then a small business, like the one on top, it says unremarkable, but that's really, the brand is not well known. Conversion rate is going to be lower at 2%. So what do you do, to increase the conversion rate of a brand that's not as well known? And you can use some of the organic, the long tail keywords as opposed to broad keywords. You want to bring in the folks who are very serious about your product. So it's all about knowing your target audience. Go ahead, Ruth. Now we'll get into the meat of our webinar here and talking about why don't we see expected growth. And I'll start off by saying I'm sure that a lot of you on this call are seeing the effects of the economy, right? It's the macro economy that's going on. With our clients, we're seeing a lot of them have lower returns than they did a year ago. So what can you do? First, it's about awareness. So why are you not seeing the growth that you want to see? When we dig into it, can look at the specific metrics, like your CTR is low. So what's happening there? So you have to look at the channels. For example, with email marketing, why is your CTR low? Maybe the email subject is not so compelling. So you really need to dive into each one of these to understand the pain points and how you can fix them. Go ahead, Brian. Going a little bit deeper, looking at the cause. So I gave the example of the low click-through rate, and then what's the effect? So with a low click-through rate, of course, you're going to burn cash, and there's a lower efficiency of your marketing activities. So the point with these two slides is really, from looking at the metrics that you're experiencing, what can you do to fix or to turn those metrics around? Next slide. So looking deeper into this, the top reasons for a low click-through rate. Maybe to look at your page content and the ad copy. And again, knowing your target audience, does your page content and your ad copy really appeal to your target audience? A/B testing is another thing that you'll want to try to better understand why you're having a low click-through rate. Go ahead, Bruno. High cost per click. What's going on there? So could be that there's a lot of competition on your platform. So for example, it's happening in June, we have the Pride Month, right? So a lot of e-commerce brands are having promotions and sales for Pride Month. So we're seeing higher costs for bidding on keywords. So that increases your cost per click. If you have a low session duration, what's happening there? You have to take a look at your site design. Is your site really user-friendly? And are the things that your user is looking for obvious and readily available to them? And then also always consider, again, your call to action has to be very clear and very compelling. Next slide. If one of your metrics, you're seeing a high bounce rate, what's going on there? Could be that you have a low loading speed, especially on mobile. That's something that's really going to deter a mobile user from clicking or staying on your website. It takes a long time to load up the website or the product page, for example. And also you have to make sure that all your technicals are set up correctly, like the tagline and the meta tag, right? That's the description that's behind the tagline that the search engine is searching, is crawling. Next slide. You may have a high cart abandonment, and what's going on there? So really the first place to look at when you have high cart abandonment is the checkout process. And you'll see the example on the left here of the checkout window that has very low conversion rate. The shipping fees shown here is to be determined. Well, that's, something that would deter me from continuing on, because I want to know exactly what my prices are and what my costs are going to be. So then on the right, you see an example of a much more user-friendly checkout process. And this looks a lot like Amazon, doesn't it? So it's very clear. You can add to the basket, or you can just buy that product now. And it even tells you when to expect that product if you were to order it now or within the next 23 hours. Next slide. So what if you're experiencing a low conversion rate? First thing you want to look at is your site design. Again, making sure that all the elements that your target audience are looking for are very clear and prominent. Next slide. So here's some examples of high conversion rate landing pages. On the left is an e-commerce company that has several different types of products that they offer. So these are the collections that they have, whether it's edibles or lotions or vapes. It's very clear what they're offering. And also towards the bottom or the middle of the page, there's some where they've been featured, right? So Allure, Forbes, these are very compelling, Rolling Stone, very compelling publications. So that builds the trust factor. And then further building the trust factor are the customer testimonials at the bottom there. People always like to hear what other people are saying about the products. Then in the center there, this landing page, just very colorful. Obviously this is a Pride campaign. It says Pride 2022 there. And it's like fun, right? So something like this landing page is really compelling to me because it just looks fun. And then there's a very prominent shop button there. And then on the right is a landing page that again has very clear the products that are available. You just click on any one of those products to learn more about them and to buy. Next slide. Okay, now we're going to go into customers' 5-step journey and how you can ensure success. So if you look at I'll just point to the visual that's there on the right, that's your sales funnel. So we're going to start with the broad sales, filling the pipeline with acquisition. So let's get started there. So how do you, what are the strategies that you can use from an online perspective to really fill the funnel and then progress those users through the funnel? So for example, for acquisition, you have paid ads. I mean, there's basically you need a really good portfolio of online activities to bring in new users and to fill that funnel. So everything from social to paid ads and of course search engine optimization. And then activation, getting them more, progressing those users through the funnel. Retention, revenue, getting them to convert, and then even further down the funnel after converting and getting revenue is having those users be loyal and refer your brand to other users. So we're going to go into detail with each one of these. Okay, so this is the top of the funnel, acquisition success. If you look to the right there, we have an infographic And here again, I'll say it again, is knowing your target audience, really understanding what's their behavior, where are they located, what's the geography, what is their demographic, their age and gender, their interests, the psychographic criteria. So really knowing that audience and then going in and optimizing your copy, optimizing it as the headlines, having clear call to action, all focused on that target audience. Next slide. So here's an example of a client that we have. This is a dispensary with 2 locations. The top location is kind of their original location, and then they expanded. So they were looking to, make sure that they were bringing in new customers to the new location and not sacrificing the activity in the original location. So if you look here, high click-through rate. So you look at the click-through rate, was very high for the new location. And overall, we did get that to improve from, I believe this is a month-to-month comparison, or maybe week-to-week comparison. So these are the metrics or the direction that you want to see them in. Right? You want to see clicks increase and the average cost per click decrease as well. Next slide. Going further down the funnel, right? So you've gotten your broad users in, now you're trying to motivate them to learn more, to get more interested in your brand, and to perhaps even convert. So this is the activation. Now, when you look at the right here, this landing page is really on brand and on the target audience. So targeting for Pride months, it's June, it's also Father's Day. This brand is focused on dads anyway. So they're really capitalizing on Dad and Pride Month. Some of the things that can really help with the activation success on increasing your average session is videos. Videos are very compelling. If you're not using videos, you really should consider doing that. It adds a whole nother dimension to the text that's on the page. Next slide. So here's a case study showing activation success where we were able to increase the sessions, increase the session duration, and also decrease the bounce rate. So this is all about really, again, getting that target audience and pulling them in. So the first one is a dispensary client, and you can see it's really hard to read these metrics, but the users have increased, the sessions have increased over 10%, pages per session have increased by 23%. So just showing you how you can optimize the campaigns to drive the metrics the way you want to drive them. The bottom case study is an e-commerce client. And here again, you see the users have increased, the new users, across the board, the revenue has increased. Next slide. Now we're going to go a little bit deeper down the funnel and talk about retention success. So now from the activation phase or stage, you have customers who are now more familiar with your brand, and you want to get them to keep coming back, right? Because we know that users don't always buy the first time when they get to know your brand. They may come back 2 or 3 or up to 7 times before they'll make a purchase. So you want to retain them. So you want to encourage have more sessions, want to have more returning visitors. And of course, then those visitors will make purchases. So what can you do here? You can capture their emails. You can retarget them with email marketing. You can even start considering customer loyalty programs for them. But this stage is mostly about retargeting when it comes to getting folks to purchase, and also with social media, you can increase your followers and create a community. And that also keeps the users coming back. Next slide. So here's an example of success in the retention phase with the client that we have. So we're comparing 1 month to another. And this is a paid media campaign. So looking at the users have increased, the new users, across the board here, we have improvement in the metrics. Go ahead, Varun, did you want to say something?
Okay, Lauren, so I think, the whole objective of the campaign was that how can we retain the old customers and increase the repeat purchases, and at the same time can also get more new users. So I think these kind of campaigns are focused on maybe giving some kind of additional benefit to the customers who are our loyal customers. So you can see here new visitors and returning visitors. So both, you can see there's a growth in terms of both metrics. But returning has more because our objective was to retain the old customers. So there's a growth of 18.89% on returning visitors and 6.56% on the new visitors. And so it fulfilled the both objectives, and the revenue also, you see that growth is almost same, 18.7% growth on returning visitors revenue and 18.89% growth on the new visitor revenue. So it fulfilled both objectives for us, including the acquisition of new customers as well as increasing the repeat purchases from the returning customers. So that's a good example, and we worked on all the metrics to make sure that our campaign was successful in that.
So revenue success, this is really looking at the user journey and the cart abandonment. You may be familiar with this infographic that's here. This is obviously a Google Analytics screenshot. So really analyzing the journey of the customer. So you have all sessions. So you'll see through the customer journey, we're minimizing the cart abandonment. It's very low. So what can you do to improve, those types of metrics in terms of reducing cart abandonment?
Yeah.
Go ahead, Varun.
Yeah, so to add to your point, I think the whole objective for ensuring the campaigns success is revenue generation. So that's what we have done by tracking some metrics such as number of people who are coming on top of the funnel. They are moving to the next kind of funnel, that is the product views, and after that is the add to cart, and there's a checkout and transactions. So we always track that with the right kind of maybe our tools. For example, if we are running a paid campaign and if you are seeing that a pop-up would probably help a customer to know about the offer immediately, then we add that, and sometimes there's a live chat that customer needs to talk to the maybe business and maybe get the answers for the queries that he has, and all these things are important. But with that, we also need to analyze few things maybe on a weekly basis, like search term reports, and seeing that what are the relevant terms that can bring the right users, what terms to put on negative, what terms to use on kind of keyword match type like exact, or like it can be a phrase match, or maybe put on negatives, as I said. Then also seeing the auction insight reports, where you can see like, okay, what are the customers searching for, and which are the competitors they are going to, and which competitor is taking how much of the impression share, and is it important for you to get the impression share, maybe 100% on some terms. So you need to see that report on a regular basis and use some tools, as we are mentioning OptiMonsters. So there are a lot of tools like OptiMonsters has a tool that analyzes that who's about to leave the website, and you can probably install the right tool to engage the customer. So it has all helped us to gain some more revenue from the customers, and you can see the journey here. We all kind of things have improved in the metrics. Even the card abandonment has improved by 14.29%. Checkout abandonment has improved by 37.5%, and overall sessions have increased on checkout and transactions. So that's what we are looking for when we optimize campaigns and look for the growth. I think this is a case study followed by the previous one, where we are talking about the conversion rate optimization in a campaign. So you can see overall growth over here. E-commerce conversion rate has gone up. Revenue has gone up by 40% by installing the right kind of tools that we discussed in the previous slide. This is a kind of auction insight report that you see when you look at the campaign analysis. For example, you can see this is you, means this is your campaign. You can see 100% is the absolute top of page rate, means we are on top of the page on the search engine on 100% times. Impression share is 89.47% on the terms we are bidding on. We are top of the page rate is 100%, like all the time we are on top. Absolute top is like number one position, and top of the page rate means you are there, maybe on top 4 in that way. These are some of the competitors that we saw were bidding on the terms that we are also bidding on, and we always see that some of the competitors are taking away the impressions. So that's what is the objective, to see like who is bidding on what terms, and probably can we either bid more, or maybe can we find more niche of the terms that can be bid, and we can win that traffic and get the revenue.
Go ahead, Varun. I'll turn it over to you.
Okay, thank you, Lauren. So referral success. So this is again, as Lauren was, I think, mentioning in the previous slides, is also ensured by more new users and higher repeat purchases. So referral success has to be there, because if you are not actually getting more referrals, then I think it is very hard to grow the business, because the study should be to retain the old customers and get more new referrals in that way. So you can see there are a lot of strategies to ensure that there's a referral success. So it's like you need to publish your website on directories like Yelp, direct reviews on Google My Business, Trustpilot, Yotpo, Yelp, and all this stuff. So there are a lot of things that you can do. Publish the reviews websites like Proper, Podguide, Lift and Co. There's a lot of public like guest blog kind of websites like High Times, Business Daily, Leafly, Cannabis.net. There are social media, answer FAQs. There are a lot of cannabis sites also. Like I have seen a Proper High is a Proper High website, properhigh.com. What they do is basically they publish the reviews of for each of the brands, and a lot of customers they write reviews, and when you want to make a purchase, they will navigate the user to the brand's website. So you need to find out the kind of websites in your niche, that who are the review websites who are review e-commerce, that can help you to get more referral traffic from those review e-commerce websites like Proper High. Here's one example of the referral You can see this is the data that we are showing you from one of the campaign that we have done. So there are two visitors, new and returning, and both are from different mediums. We can see we have more new visitors as a referral users. And then this is the success of the campaign where you are seeing that a lot of people are being referred and they are new visitors. So out of the whole campaign, you see 12,000 visitors were new who were referred by the old customers, and we had 2,000 customers who are referral customers. And generally, what happens, these customers who are new visitors, they convert to returning by turning on the retargeting campaigns that we do. That's why you would see that conversion rate would be really less on the new visitors because they won't transact at the same time or at the same session. They may come back again, maybe after 1 or 2 days, or maybe 3 days, when they see the retargeting ad that we turn on, and they might convert into a customer and they will be tagged as a returning visitor. That's why you see there's a high conversion rate for returning customers, uh, and 16% conversion rate because they're coming from the pool of new visitors. But this is success because we can see the referral campaign has worked very well to find out these new visitors for your business. So now we'll talk about some tools to avoid failure for digital marketing campaigns. So some important tools that we use on top of the all the campaigns. Tool one is OptiMonster. So one is to reduce cart abandonment. So you can see here sometimes when users leave the cart, there are a lot of softwares that you can use in the OptiMonster. For example, this one, living already, maybe some of message that you can customize, then get the email and address and send the coupon so that someone can be engaged in that with the additional offer. Or there's another example like wait, don't go, this additional offer to shipping and CTA to avail that offer in that way. So you can use that tool and it will help you to reduce cart abandonment and improve the conversion rate on our campaigns. And there are a lot of things that you can do, maybe either pop-ups like that, or you can also have a chat invitation with the support agent if someone is leaving that. So that are the ways you can use by using this tool. It is very helpful for the campaigns optimizations. The second tool we have used is the keyword magic tool. I think most of you would have heard about the SEM rush, but if you have the access to it, start using it and you would find that there's a tool you can go inside and search for the keyword in your industry to find out like which are the vital search term of the keywords that are being trending and that have more number of clicks and impressions, and you can actually make a keyword list and maybe then use that list to maybe either on SEO or on PPC campaigns to get the relevant customers in that way. If it is a paid customer, then if you're putting a paid campaign, then maybe I don't know your CPC, you can maybe lower down the CPC because you are being very specific on the keyword and there's a kind of a niche that you are finding within your kind of industry and products, and that will be helpful to get lower CPC as well as the higher traffic on a paid campaigns. And it will be also helpful to probably segmentize your kind of campaign. So if you want to have a campaign and different ad groups, different keywords, you can do that from here and see, because generally people use Google keyword tool, but for the industry that we are in, like cannabis industry or CBD, you cannot use Google keyword tool to find out these keywords and such volumes for our industry. So this is a good tool for you to prepare and launch your campaigns. The next tool that you can use is the thing with Google. So of course we cannot use the keyword finder, but we can use Google, some tools of the Google to find out the audience. So it's like you can see some examples over here. Maybe whatever campaigns you are doing, you can use this tool and see, like, okay, for the category of a business, who are the kind of people, and you can create the persona of the users and maybe target those users in that way. You can also test your landing page, you can test your website and find out that, okay, what are the problems and how can you optimize the whole kind of a speed in that way, because mobile is the way to go, and you need to have the landing page opening faster within 3 seconds on kind of mobile. Google Trends can give you help on finding out like what is trending in your industry or in your products, and maybe you can use those specific kind of products to bid on to get the maximum traffic at a lower cost. And a lot of tools there. The tools you can use: Grow My Store, Market Finder, to help you grow your campaigns on that. The next tool we have used is BuzzSumo. So if you are doing any content marketing campaigns, or you're writing enough blogs, or you're doing enough PR, or you're doing SEO, so you need to have the right tool to help you find out the ideas on your products, your industry, you kind of category you are writing for, and you can find it out here by putting the right kind of keywords and finding the content ideas in that way. So you can build your content strategy on organic. You can uh, see that, okay, what is the breaking news, and what is trending as of now, what keyword is maybe performing more, what's being searched more, and all this thing you can do. You can also do computer analysis by putting the domain names and seeing that what is uh, helping them to get more traffic, what is the engagement in that way, how many articles they are writing, how much they are actually engagement they are having in that. So you can analyze all that stuff on BuzzSumo and use it for content strategy. Write the land, maybe you can write the ad copies, you can create the landing page content, and you can also write the good content for the blogs and organic. So these were basically to avoid failure for marketing campaigns, but there are other tools to increase returns and profits for the digital marketing campaigns, and we'll talk about that. So one is this Calify. So basically this is the tool that Sports Digital has established. So we have experience of more than 5 years in this industry, and when we started with the industry, we were struggling to find a right channel apart from Google to do the advertisements, get the right returns for our clients, but it was very difficult. So what we did is like we contacted with a lot of publishers across the internet, and we made a list of publishers who are giving an inventory of cannabis and CBD friendly approved publishers, and they're outside Google network. That can allow you to advertise about the products without any kind of limitations. You can talk about the product, you can mention whatever keyword you want to, and these kind of, there are different kind of key ads that we have analyzed, and we have also formed. That is like programmatic ads are divided into two categories: prospecting and retargeting. So display ads, there are banner ads, we do prospecting. There are like keyword based prospecting, where we know that there are publishers who may have the content and traffic that relates to your industry. So you can create a campaign on prospecting, where you can mention the keywords that relate to your business, and you can find the publishers who are maybe relevant to that kind of content. So you can do the prospecting campaign, get more traffic to the website, and then do the retargeting campaign to re-engage and probably get the more conversions. You can also do prospecting campaigns on basis of the targeted list that we have created over a period of time, like people who are e-commerce buyers, e-commerce shoppers, CBD users, vape smokers, dispensary goers. You can get the different lists that we can use to do the prospecting campaigns. We can be very specific to the locations, the zip codes, the kind of area. We can do the targeting by that parameters as well. And there are retargeting, like we can retarget based on two components. One is site cookies, another CRM data. So what do I mean by that is like people who are coming to your website but not converting, we can retarget those users. By CRM data, we mean is like if you have existing list of customers Then we can use that data to form a lookalike audience, and we can do the retargeting on that kind of campaign. So the lookalike audience helps us to get the more kind of maybe I would say prospects by doing prospecting campaign, and then again retargeting helps to convert those kind of prospects. They also can be very local specific, and they can be generic as well as dynamic. By dynamic means, for example, if you have three products in your store, one is vape, gummies, and you have for example, capsules, then what you can do is like you can do the dynamic retargeting. So people who are visiting gummies will only see gummies as a product in the retargeting campaigns, not the other ones in that way. So we can do very focused retargeted campaigns on these kind of channels. We can also do audio ads, we can do video ads, and it can help you to get more conversions while doing different kind of ad units. This is one example of one of the campaign we have done for one of the major Bay Area cannabis delivery client on the Scalify. That is our tool, and this is the campaign done in a period of 3 months. So you can see the impressions won more than 3 millions, almost 2,000 clicks. Revenue generated was almost $600,000, and the spend was almost $26,000. So these campaigns you can see are very focused across the geographies, and they also have the retargeting enabled on top of it. So these are focus campaigns that we started, and you can see the start and end date, and you can also see the revenue generated in that way. Next kind of channels you can use is the native ad channels. So most of you would have seen, I think the right side you can see the content that shows the content when you're reading kind of article. You see some suggestions where that says, okay, how CBD oil helps athletes recover, and probably you click on it and read that. But visually they are sponsored kind of content that you do via different channels. So we'll talk about different channels as well. So you can see the ad roll, Criteo, Rev Content, Taboola, Traffic Junkie. So we choose different channels depending on the product and depending on the target audience of the client. We have used all these channels to do the native ads and got successes for different clients on different channels. Each is different. Each one is different for different clients in that way. So this is an example that we have given for the Criteo. So we use Criteo for one of the client who was a very famous client in California and very popular among the people who are looking for products that are stress and for stress and for the fun. So you can see the Criteo CPC campaign is number 4. We got almost 51,000 users, almost 7.5. I was going to say like 7.5 billion impressions that we have got, and the revenue was almost 2,651, and ROS is 976%. So you can see the ROS is very high on these campaigns because they are retargeting campaigns on the Criteo. So people who are coming to the website but not converting, you can always re-engage with those users and maybe get them to repurchase. Rev content is also specific to cannabis industry. We can use that also. That has also worked for some of our clients in that. Next tools we have is the retargeting with email marketing workflows. So some examples that we are using for different kinds are Snowvio, Sendinblue, MailChimp, MailJet, Drip, ConvertKit, Klaviyo. I think most of you would be using one of these. So we have a good experience with the Snowvio because they have good workflows that can be used for different conditions. And there are different examples of the emailers that we're using. So I will show you some example of the Snowvio and one more here on the Get Drip. So Snowview has this kind of workflow that you can set up, and you can see each and every step. So if we send the email and we trigger it, and it has the kind of a timeline like, okay, wait to 2 days, and then again trigger it, uh, then again trigger it. So we can set up the triggers when we deliver those emails. So you can see different workflows we are setting up. And then we have a goal to get the meeting, for example.
Yeah, so we set up the triggers, as Varun said. If, for example, if we know someone received the email but did not open it, we'll send them a second email that's different from someone who did open that first email and didn't purchase. So that's what the workflow is about, is really targeting each customer for where they've come from and what their action was.
Yeah, thank you, Lauren. Same with the get drip workflow. You can see we trigger the emails, and then we can also see at the end the revenue it generated in that way. So they are always goal-based emails. The goal is to get more purchases, and end of the campaign we can see the emails like the revenue here. We send an email, there's a revenue here, and then people who didn't open it, again there's a cadence, and the email goes, and there's again revenue after each and every workflow. So we customize it depending on the kind of customers you are sending in, kind of products you are selling, and kind of feedback we had from different groups of customers. The next tool is called A/B testing. There should be continuous A/B testing, because if you don't do A/B testing, you won't find that there's an improvement on the campaigns. So you can see the growth hacking is only possible with these kind of tools. There's Unbounce, Google A/B testing tool. A lot of tools are there, which we generally use, on like top 5, I would say, that we use. So you can see the kind of metrics you can see in the Unbounce, like A/B distribution, which one is performing better, that was the winning version in that way. So we set the metrics, set the time duration, and check the performance, and maybe take the winning one to continue. There's an example here. We use these tools for one of our clients who's in Utah, and it is a dispensary. And we used two kind of messaging, where we had the cannabis pharmacy and cannabis dispensary as two words to test, like which one is kind of better performing. And we found that copy B was having more success, like cannabis dispensary was having more success, got more impressions, got more clicks, more CTR, and more revenue. So generally, it's like, I wouldn't say that like it is like clear, very clear in terms of dispensary is winning, but I would say pharmacies also performed well. But we use dispensary one to improve the performance, because you have 1.1% CTR. That is better than the old ad in that way. Some of the case studies we'll talk about, like startup to acquisition. So we had this growth hacking process with these clients over a period of time. It's not like 1 year or 2 years, like almost 2, 3 to 4 years that we have worked with these clients since we started and got this success. So one of the e-commerce client, we had launched acquisition kind of a success, where we had launched the brand in 2018, worked with those clients till 2021, and they were acquired by bigger brand in that way. So we did SEO in 2018, we did SEO in 2019, then we started paid campaigns. And because each thing happened in a phase-wise manner, nothing can be done on day one. So I think doing a paid campaign on day one was not an option, because they didn't have money and they were not a popular brand. So it might have backfired. So what we did is, like, initially we got a good number of users. We tried to increase the revenue, and then probably we thought that it will be a good time to launch the campaigns and get the more users and revenue in that. So you can see the overall success here, 2021 was half year data only because they were acquired in the middle of the 2021. But we increased the revenue from, you can see overall revenue has increased substantially from $72,000 in 18 to almost $1 million in 2021. And that is a journey that we were working with the client together to grow this business in that. Some examples of the ads that we have used and the tracking that we had on each and every metric. So we were targeting some holiday special ads. We're launching 20% off. We're launching different coupons like gift 30 and under. And we were tracking the performance of each and every creative and messaging when we were doing the campaigns. Each campaign had an objective, and each campaign had different A/B testing of the offers and coupons that we were testing continuously. So you can see here each banner size had a targeting of some particular CTR and revenue, and that we were tracking while we were doing the campaigns. Either it is a holiday special or it is a normal campaign or any other days. We also worked with another client that is a cannabis delivery client, and who is a very big client in California. And we started with before, so this 2018 is like before spokes. So you can see the metrics here. And after partnering with the spokes, how the things have transformed. In 2019, we did SEO and PPC. 20 we had SEO and PPC. 2021 we had PPC and programmatic. We started with the SEO activities because they were set up. So when we start any kind of activity, this is also not important that we keep doing it. We also recommend our clients that probably it's better now to stop SEO because I think we have set up the client and now they can actually work on it by themselves, or we can just keep maintaining it. And we can focus on the paid media campaigns where we can bring more new customers and grow the whole business in that. That was the whole, I think, objective. So you can see the overall growth. We started with $1.9 million of revenue and grew to almost $5 million in a four-year of period in that. This is the some example again of the different messaging, different kind of, so one product banner where we are targeting specific product, specific messaging, the coupons, and other product is like talking about on the delivering California's best kind of delivery service. So we have different kind of messaging for different occasions, and then we do A/B testings, and we track revenue around the each size and each messaging that we do, so that we can optimize the campaigns and landing pages and other. This is an example of cannabis dispensary client. That is a physical dispensary, but they also have the online e-commerce where someone can pick up at their store and someone can also get the delivery at home on the same day delivery. So 2020 was like before spokes where they had some users. There was one location and bounce rate was very high, very less sessions, and there was no tracking that was enabled to see the statistics on the website. And we can see there's no tracking on any kind of metric that can be tracked. We set up everything on the website. We set up all the trackings. In 2021, we started with the PPC and programmatic ads. And you can see that number of users have increased substantially. Bounce rate has gone down to 1.8%. And you can see the metric here, like 5.52% conversion rate. And we generated revenue of almost $1.6 million in the first year when they had one location. And next year also, we can see the same kind of good progress. Bounce rate has reduced even further. Conversion rate has improved to 7.02%. And revenue is again gone to $1.5 million. So it's like you can see this is, we're just seeing the data till 31st May. So this data is like almost only 5 months of data here. When we finish the year, probably we'll be having the almost double revenue in the last year. It was a growth. I would say it's a great progress that we had, and we'll continue the progress for this client. some examples of the ads that we had and the testing we have done and tracking we do for each banner size and each kind of product that we advertise. And this is an example. So this, I think, yeah, we are almost over with the timing. So if there's a question, we can answer, or we can also take it on the email, and you can also, reach out to us on the emails and LinkedIn.
Thank you, everyone, for participating.
Thank you, everyone. Please reach out to us and here are our coordinates and Lawrence, and we'll be happy to answer any of your questions. We also have free consultation that is on our website. So don't hesitate. Please fill out the form and we can help you with that. And I think we also had a kind of a promotion that was like giving additional discount to the participants, almost $500 discount on the services that we offer. So please reach out to us for more details, and we can talk more about it and probably help you to grow your business as we have done for other clients. Thank you, everyone. Have a great day.